Okay, we'll do Eyes of Silver by the Doobies, and the opening riff is going to be an open, and then a hammer on the E string, a hammer on the seventh and ninth. So it'll sound like, and then it continues on the seventh and the ninth here, and the only other note in this little riff will then be on the D string on the sixth fret. So if you get the feel for this little box, okay, they're the notes, and this is how it'll sound fast. And slow, it'll be all right. So when you play along with the record, you'll get that muscle memory pretty quickly. All right. The chord progression is going to be an E, and the way we're going to play this E, there's a lot of ways you can play it. You know, an open E. But we're going to play it up here. We're going to bar the ninth, okay, and we're going to bar these four strings, okay, the A, D, G, and the B, and we're going to hammer on the A string on the 11th fret, and it'll sound like this when you hammer. You know, it's kind of like that their other song, "Listen to the Music." Okay, so it's, and we'll refer to that as the E chord. So it's going to be an E chord, and then a quick passing. I'm going to call this a minor seventh formation. I'll refer to it as the minor seventh because that's in my head. That's what I call it. But basically, you're keeping that bar where it was, but you're doing a little hammer on with your middle finger on the B string, 10th fret, and your ring finger on the D string on the 11th fret. So it'll sound, you know. Well, here's how it'll sound together. It'll go. How does it go? Shit. That's how it goes. So it goes. All right, but you just play that once, and then you're going to go, if you slide that E formation down 2 frets, so that's a D, okay? And then you're going to return to that minor seventh and back to the E. So it's going to sound like this. Once you know those, 3 chords, and you can finger them, then this is the progression. So it's... All right, so that's the loop, and that's the loop. That's loop number 1. The second time around, you're going to substitute, rather dropping down to that D there, you're going to play a D here, and this is just a little chord formation here with your ring finger on the D string 12th, on the G string 10th, and on the B string. I'm sorry, it's 12th, 11th, 10th. Okay, so it's gonna sound like that, but you're really just playing that, and it'll sound like this. That second loop. All right, so it's so when you play those 2 loops together, and really just changing that the way you play the D on the second loop, you just alternate those 2 loops. So and this is how the verse will go. It'll go. Okay, so that's it. That's the loop. Now the change, you're going to slide that. That's that D shape that I was showing you. but you're going to slide that down where your ring finger is on the 7th fret, middle finger on the 6th fret, and index finger on the B string 5th fret, and that's going to be an A. And this is going to be that little change where you throw a little suspended in there, so you're putting your a little hard to see. You're putting your pinky on that G string, okay, and then back to the first loop. I keep forgetting how it goes. Okay, and you'll just play that loop one time to it's actually a C and a D, so it's that same E formation that we've played, in the verse course, but you're sliding that down where you're barring the 5th fret, and your ring finger or your whatever finger you use is on the 7th fret of the A string, and then you'll just slide that up, and that's a C chord, and you'll slide it up to a D, back to the normal loop, so it'll go. Okay, then there is a little interlude here where there's a kind of a lead, and this you're just going to be hammering the A string from the 5th fret to the 7th fret, and then you might be throwing in that the 5th fret on the D string, so it's going to sound like. I drop back to the 3rd fret on the E string, so that little kind of lead part is. Or you can be creative, do whatever you want to do there, but that again, that's whatever you want to do. And then it's back to the your normal verse progression. Okay, and not real smooth, but I think you got all the chord shapes, and really just play along with the record, and they're in standard pitch, standard tuning. So good luck.